I'm Matthew Forbes, and today we're talking about voicemails. Should you leave them? Should you not? Here's a real unpopular opinion. In most cases, you definitely shouldn't. I'll tell you why. Let's get into it. But Matt, I just spent all this time. I just had to go call 10, 15, 20 voicemails to finally get somebody. Of course I'm going to go leave a voicemail. It only takes an extra 30 seconds. Why wouldn't I? Here's why you shouldn't right here. Here's the deal. When you're cold calling someone, I think the last thing you want to do is give them a reason to get you off the phone. I think we can all agree with that. So what's the problem with a voicemail? Well, one, do they really listen to them? Occasionally they do, and I'm not saying occasionally you don't get a call back, but what happens on the calls where you actually get somebody, that's where it gets more interesting. I look at voicemails as, look, I'm a lion on the Serengeti, right? And I look at a zebra and I go, yo, zebra, hey, I'm going to eat you next Tuesday. That's when I'm going to call you back. Like, no, you would never do that. Why such a ridiculous example? Because what we're trying to do on a cold call, and we've talked about it before, right? Build some enthusiasm, right? Build some curiosity, have a conversation. What are the three worst words in sales? I'm all set. That shouldn't even say connect and sell. It should say I'm all set. And how's the quickest way to get there? It's by having somebody categorize you, having somebody say, oh, I know what you do. You do this. And as soon as they think that, you're going to hear these magical words in sales called I'm all set. And you're ruined. You're never going to get further than that. And that's the problem with voicemail. You're projecting to people who you are, right? You've got 15, maybe 20 seconds on a voicemail. How much value are you adding? Now, I know, here comes the hate. Here come the marketers. But touch points, and then if they know and yada, 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 that's all awesome. But if I get hung up on after 25 seconds because the guy thinks I'm something I'm not, I'm toast. And that's really the problem. Now, there are places to leave voicemails for sure, right? Certainly current customers. I mean, there's all sorts of great reasons to leave voicemails. But on a purely outbound world, I don't want to leave you a voicemail. I really don't. I want to get you on the phone cold. I would rather get you on the phone cold because my success rate is going to go up because you're not going to categorize me. I used to sell IT staffing. If I called somebody and said, hey, I'm a staffing firm, want to talk? Probably not going to go very well. Why? Because the last 50 staffing firms behind me were terrible at their job. And they just think I'm one of them. Right? So I have to add curiosity into this, and the last thing I want to do is have that person know exactly who I am, exactly what I do in front of that. It's a really weird concept to not leave voicemails. Everybody has, big cadences these days, right? I gotta send all these emails no one's gonna read. I gotta leave these voicemails no one's gonna listen to. I gotta make all these calls that nobody ever answers. And I get it. You want to do the work, right? You just made the call. You might as well leave a voicemail. I would argue that you shouldn't. So think about it. Think about not being categorized. I want it to be an ambush call. I know it's backwards, and I know a lot of people aren't going to like it, but I just want to get you a little bit off kilter. All right? That's what a good cold call does. It gets you into the conversation. I have to add curiosity to it. I can't exactly just come out and tell you what it is that I do in the beginning of a cold call anyways. If I did, I'd sound a lot like, hey, it's Matt Forbes from XYZ. I can save you 15% on your car insurance. Sweet. You just sounded like 99% of all the cold calls I've listened to, and I've listened to thousands, tens of thousands, and they're terrible. You got to come out with curiosity, and you're going to kill that if you've already projected to them who you are and what you do. So my opinion, don't do it. Don't leave the voicemail. Hang up, dial again. Hope it's helpful. Either way, the rent is due. Make a call.